Hey, welcome in. You know, it always helps to turn the microphone on, although I bet it sounded better than before. But anyway, welcome into Flying with Mike. Thank you, NUS668, for the resub. We sure appreciate you. Been around with us for 36 months. Wow. How time can fly is amazing. Plus 100 bits on top of it. Wow. Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate it. Welcome in. Today is going to be a fun day of flying. Pratt PT6, I saw you sneaking in there. Hope you're having a great day too as well. We are sitting on the ground. We're getting ready to fly. Now, this gets a little confusing. We're going to be flying Northwest 757-200 from Flight Factor. Cheers for the mic, Mike. Thank you there, Inyusik. For Piedmont Virtual is who we're flying. So I know it's a little confusing. They're more of a historical airline type meeting. Airlines, bygone, maybe airlines that have been gone for some time, Northwest, while gone by name, still technically, I don't know how you want to put it, Delta gobbled them up. So they're part of Delta Airlines. And soon, for those out there that are part of Piedmont Virtual, they are going to get again gobbled up by Delta Virtual Airlines, the Fusion Airline version. They're going to move the timetables off Piedmont over to them. So that's a bummer. I love flying for them here, and I really don't want to join another virtual airline. Sergeant Yash, welcome back. And we are doing fantastic this Saturday. Been through a lot this week here, if you haven't been paying attention to the news. Illinois has really had it pretty hard, especially out just east of us, all the way over to Indiana and up north. A lot of tornadoes, some really devastating ones, and we're not the only areas I know, and I know Europe is suffering from a huge heat wave. Why do I know that? Well, because we have the aircraft set for the day of 25 June at this time, because the weather servers are, I think, overheating is what one of them said. They're trying to pour ice on them, you know, ice and servers. Yeah, that doesn't go well. No. Yeah, they're trying to stay cool. So, yeah, weather is a little topsy-turvy out there right now. Oh, actually, I'll be honest. If it wasn't for X-Plane, I wouldn't have known about the heat wave out there. So, but I do know about the weather here. Whoa, has it been rocking and rolling here in St. Louis and points east? As well as, I'm not going to leave you out, Chicago and some of the areas around there that have been just pummeled here lately. So, anyway, like I said, today we are flying out of Minneapolis for Northwest Airlines. We are headed to Denver. Once we get to Denver, we'll take a little break, staying on stream, and then switch into the BAE 146-100 and hop over to Aspen. Plane we haven't flown in a while. So I thought, what the heck? Let's get it up into the air, or see if we still know how to. So, and then shoot an approach into Aspen. So, and I have gotten my airports all can't confirm in US sick. It's record heat. Glad I'm not rocking and overclocked AMD anymore. Oh, ouch. Yeah, the heat. Yeah. Well, that insert to injury and into the frying pan, so to speak, will be St. Louis this upcoming week. We are expecting some pretty hot weather. I know it's summer. You expect hot weather. Sometimes not to the extremes we're seeing, but uh, yeah, it's getting pretty rough out there with the heat. And just think, we still have 3 or 4 more months of summer to go. Yuck. Aspen, like the place where beer flows like wine. I'll be honest, I've never heard the term nor attached to anywhere particular, but it's possible. I mean, Coors comes out of Colorado. So, Coors beer, if you are a beer aficionado. And if you like Smokey and the Bandit, played a part in the movie. I'll let you all go out and watch it after the stream. Um, but yeah, I don't know. But I do know this much, and we'll talk more about it. Aspen, I got my airports all turned around out there because I thought Aspen was different than what I'm seeing. Like I said, that's to come. Let's get the Flight Factor 757 up and running, which, by the way, we're pretty close. Two things, though, to report about this plane. One, well, let's do it in the cockpit. It makes more sense. So let's hop aboard. All right, remember, our last couple of flights ago, yes, I know, nearly a week ago, I talked about I could not find this PTU switch. Ha! Found it. And it's in the least likely place you'd ever look. Okay, 757 pilots, you're not allowed to chime in now. You didn't chime in earlier. You don't get to now. It's right here. Like I said, the last place any of us would think to look is right behind the first officer. Now, the other bigger question, well, and the other one, hang on, let's get up to the overhead. We know about the limiting switch and the EECs that are normally here. EEC stands for electronic engine controllers. Well, to something I got to learn. According, again, this is flight factor documentation. I don't know real world or not. EECs are not on Pratt & Whitney engines. I'm not sure how the 767 has them, but anyway, they didn't on the 757. Who knew? Up here was your engine limiting switch. Also not on Pratt Whitney's, which Northwest used. I don't think they had any Rolls-Royce engines at Northwest. FedEx does. Actually, they have both. So that is why many are out here going, why can't we find them? So that is the answer to your question. The Pratt & Whitneys do not have the EECs or the engine limiting, and you all saw where the PTU switch is behind the first officer on that side panel. Last place you'd ever think it would be. But that makes you have to search the whole cockpit now for some of these switches. So anyway, just thought I'd throw that in there as a little something I've learned through the week, reading through some of the manuals and actually glancing through, not reading. So hopefully we'll have a pretty good flight. All right, speaking of the first flight, we are flying. Stand by. I'm going to fire up the ACAR system before you-know-who forgets. And, uh-oh, of course there is. A new version downloading will update. All right, great. One more reason for me to somehow forget it. Hopefully it goes quick. Oh, it did, I think. Oh, it did go quick. Wow. Usually some of these take a long time. Denver, hang on, Minneapolis, Denver. Okay, that is it. All right, so we are in Echo 14 for those looking up the where is Waldo, Captain Mike. So as Flying with Mike gets started here, something came to mind that I might want to look at. Oh, oh, now Twitch users, you just saw a message come up that I put in a timer. Uh, you can right now until July 3rd at 11:59 Pacific Daylight Time. Um, you have, if you're one that wants to make someone's day, you can save 35% on gift sub bundles of 5 or more. Again, till July 3rd, 11:59 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Oh, with all this rain and storms out here, my allergies have really activated hard. So bear with me here. All right, so let's finish up what we've started here. So basically, before we got everything going, we did our pre-flights, which got us on the GPU. I'm going to go ahead, switch us now onto the APU, so that way they can kick that cord off the plane and the air conditioning unit. As I get some coffee. Ugh. All right, one other thing so that you can get this nice little panel up here. It's right here, status. If you click the other one, it just puts the engine instruments, and it just that tells you the status. Currently, we are at 64%. I think the all of them so far, not like the 767 where only some of them. I think they're all coming alive pretty decently engine wise. So they're not racing like some. You blink an eye and you're already up and running with flight factor. Okay, there's 100%. We're on the APU is already selected, but until we deselect the external power, it's not engaged yet. So hang on. You'll see a flicker. And then we'll come over here, bring the APU bleed up and running. And we are now on internal power. Now, the reason I turned this fuel pump on is, albeit it's automatic, the left forward pump is what's used to fuel the APU. Coffee is a civilizational necessity. It's not even a word. It's a big word in my life. Back off. I live by it. If I had a camera, you'd see 2 IV bottles pumping caffeine into me from coffee. Them there fighting words. Caffeine, yes. Must have every day. By the gallons. So, and you know what? You did a good job there in your sick. I lost track where I was. Anyway, we've got the EPU up and running. So, let's finish up this checklist. We're easily 10 minutes from pushback. And that's a cool thing about this checklist. I'm going to get it hooked up into the app tab here in a few days, and we'll be able to go through it that way. But it's pretty cool. You got your pre-flights, then you have the beginning of a flight. So where you check your oxygens, your fuel switches are off. Now, 10 minutes prior to push, do these things, and then I think the last one's like, yeah, ready to start engines and so forth. So it's pretty neat how they broke it down at Flight Factor. All right, so 10 minutes. We're going to get our clearance. Okay, well, we already did. We don't have ATC that I check. Nope, ND Center does not control us. All right, final fuel load is in. Logbooks checked, load sheet checked. Okay, you all don't know that, so let's bring Elevatech up. Elevatech. All right. You can see we're hiding up here. We did have an airplane down in here. They've taken off. One landed. One's gone offline already. So again, if you're ever in a bind and you can't get the chart for the taxiways up quick enough, just realize charts, you can zoom in on the airport. Most of your moving maps like Elevatech, VATSIM, radar, Sim Toolkit, all of those can zoom in to just a view like this. And you can get around that way. Even includes gates at most airports. Bogota got a little confusing several months ago. We need to go back and try it again. All right, so let's do it here. So today's flight's looking at about an hour and a half from here to Denver. 626 miles, 900 or 99 for the cost index, and 34,000. Cruise level, flight level 340. Weights, they are as you see them. Well, to a point. Let me rephrase that. Yes, our zero fuel weight equals what you see. Maybe the takeoff weight. Payload, probably. Fuel, yes. Why I say that? Okay, when this flight was generated at Piedmont Virtual, they wanted 221 people. I don't think the 757-200 can hold that much back then in their configurations. Today, sardine cans, oh yeah, they'll load you in on top of each other if they can to make more money. So we have, and Flight Factor maxes at 170 something. We'll look at that in a minute. But anyway, so let me pan out now. Get an idea of how our route looks. We got a little bit of storms. Guys, we're not going to see this. Guys and gals, just don't even, what you see weather here, you will not see. Like I said in the beginning, the weather servers at X-Plane are not functioning right now. We're rolled back to the same time of day, just a couple of days earlier. And we may see storms, but don't look for it to look like this. So there's our arrival, and we are planning the ILS into there. All right. So let's pull up now what we actually have on the airplane. So we'll go to the EFB. You can get it here or here. You know what? Let's do it there. Go to Ops. Okay, so that is the maximum number of people Flight Factor puts on the plane. Sorry, if you want 220, I don't know how to up it. And then, you know, as you go through, now you can use your cargo weight to bring you up closer. Hang on a second. Why are we... That is the incorrect fuel, and I know I put it in there. Did I do that bad of a job? 122138, correct? Yes. Okay. Still not affecting. Hang on a second. We're still short. Let me go to 0. Oh boy. Now I know why. Okay. I thought something didn't feel right. 18138. Ooh. 181,382 minus the 0 fuel weight of 166,574. Well, let's give it a try. What the heck? 808. All right. Okay, we'll perform maintenance again. We'll start loading. That was really interesting. All right, so while it is doing its thing, now as I've told you on Flight Factor, a couple of ways to know your aircraft's full. Or done, I should say, done loading. One, this message will be gone from your EFB. The second is the noise you hear in the background. You may not turn it up a little. That'll go away and stay away. Thirdly and lastly, come up here, look at your fuel, your total. Reaches what you're expecting, then you're ready, you're loaded. In our case, 22,138 pounds, so it'll say 22.1-ish. Maybe 0, maybe 2, who knows. All right. Okay, we're ready to finalize the FMS. I also figured out the issue here where I couldn't put flaps in. Excuse me. It boiled down to, and I kept saying it, it's got to be a setting. Sorry about that. It ended up being a setting that, I'll be honest, I can't remember where I found it. So I'll have to go back through. But if you go through the settings, look for PIP. When you initiate that, your FMS will change to this. All right, so I got the CG in here. I'm going to go to the next page, put our runway wind in, and actually get our performance. We're going to take off 12 left. Runway wind of 1, oh, that's current. Doggone it. Oh. Hang on, let me see what we really are. Okay, 0, 0, 0 at 7. So out of the north at 7. Okay. Okay, that'll work for 1, 2. And our reference temperature will go right here, 14. And the slope, we're not going to worry about that. That's the one bad thing about JEPs. We don't get that information easy. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I'm not going to worry about it for now. We'll do this. All right, so we are planning DTO of 43. Oops. I think we're loaded. Okay. Our CG, all you had to do is click here, and our flaps today will be at 5. Now, you're going, well, the speeds aren't showing. Turn them on. 144, 147, 149. Are we close? We're really close. So I'm going to go with that. 147. All right, and we're complete. I'll just turn those off. That looks good. And we've got the aircraft pretty much ready to go. Let's check our fuel. 221. All right, we are loaded. We'll start putting things away here. Let's go outside. All right, so here's your LSUs. They're gone. We're on, so we can go here. I want to check something, though, real quick. We do not want to see on with the external power. Click it off before you do it here. Why? You may inadvertently erase all of that data you just put in the FMC. You got to really be careful with it in the 767. I've only flown this aircraft a couple of times now, so we're still getting used to what is the same and what's not. Okay, so let's close all doors. Go back to ops. Get rid of the fuel truck. I'm going to go ahead, get rid of chocks. And we're ready to put. Once we get things squared away up front here. Okay, let's look at it. 10 minutes to go. Okay, FMC, runway, all of the routing, perf is done. Cruise page, let's check climb. That looks good. Cruise, now we got numbers. Descent looks good. It's amazing when this information gets in how things look like I'm used to. Okay, so for the speed, we need it at V2, they're saying. Let's do that. The only thing I don't like about this plane so far is the bounciness to the gauges. Now, I don't know if that's a for real thing or not, but it just kind of bugs me. We're going to turn on a heading of 100. We'll show you why here in a second on takeoff. And for those who are now joining us when the poster said we'd be starting, welcome aboard Flying with Mike. We're in the 757-200 from Flight Factor, and we are headed to Denver out of Minneapolis. Welcome aboard. All right, final checks here. MCP altitude. Go here. Let's see. Shep 1 departure by ATC. Okay, so that means without ATC, we're going to 34,000. All right, anyone out there right now just giving me an idea of what we're going to do on takeoff? Flown out of Minneapolis, give me an idea how they turn when they're going to the east, if they turn north or turn south. My instructions we'll go over here in a second are a little vague. All right, we'll put that away. And we'll go flight directors on, LNAV, VNAV. ACARS is running. High frequency ILS data links are set. Takeoff briefing. Look at that, right on schedule. Let me bring in charts. Okay, here's where we were talking. All right, so for takeoff, we're going to taxi out the runway 2 left, or 1, 2 left. All right, so initial climb. So for assigned heading 060 clockwise to 100, cross 7 miles Minneapolis, VOR, at or above 3,500 feet. After that, we don't have anything. Hence my question. All right, so we're shooting off at about a 100. I guess we could turn this way. All right, so we'll turn. Mr. Bongo, welcome aboard. How have you been? I've been great, sir. I sure appreciate it. Welcome aboard. So we'll take off, do our turn to 100, and then we'll work our way over to Hugger, and then on down to Raxan on the Shup 1. All right, that's our departure brief. And I think that's going to pretty well clear us. All right, time to, we're on the EPU, passenger signs on. Let's lock the door. Now, I am curious. Bear with me. This one I'm curious about. I had the door open. That closed it. Cool. Automatic doors. No. Maybe. Might be that way. Who knows? I've never been in a 750 or never paid a lot of attention when I flew. One time on one. By the way, that was probably closer to 15 to 20 years ago, so it's been a while. Making food and you didn't make enough for the rest of us? What? What the? I tell you. All right. Let's see. Where are we? Okay, let's get back up here. Turn the red lights on. Fuel pumps coming on. Packs being turned off for the engine start. And we're ready. Call in the pushback truck and let's
ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
Bear with me a second. I'm trying to figure that out. I think that's the line right there. Oh, you know what? I could go this way. And that puts me already... You know what? Hang on. We do it a different way.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go. Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
All right, we've already got the chocks removed. Let's just verify everything's out. Doors are closed. Jetway pulling away.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Cleared to connect. Face us west, please. All right, and now we'll make sure our hydraulics are on, and they, wait a minute. All fuel pumps are on. Transponder. And safety briefing. All right. Actually, I've been kind of amazed we haven't been pummeled by it.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Ladies and gentlemen, we request your full attention as the flight attendants
here we
demonstrate
go.
the safety features of this aircraft.
Sorry
Starting
for the
pushback,
annoyance.
and you may start engines.
Insert the metal fittings one into the other.
But I
Tighten it
just
by
don't
pulling on the
like.
loose end of the strap.
I'll just turn the volume down a little.
The upper portion of the buckle.
Right, there we
We
go.
suggest that you keep your seat belt fastened throughout the flight, as we may experience turbulence. Please take a few moments now to locate your nearest exit. In some cases, your nearest exit may be behind you. If we need to evacuate the aircraft,
It's time to
door
crank
level
'em.
lighting will guide you towards the exit. Doors can be opened by moving the handle in the direction of the arrow. Each
Click
door is
engine.
equipped with an inflatable slide, which may also be detached.
And we're looking
Use
to
this
get
light
to
bulb
the
oxygen
magenta
aircraft
colored
are always being
line.
monitored. In the event of a decompression, an oxygen mask will automatically appear in front of you. To start the flow of oxygen, pull the mask towards you. Place it firmly over your nose and mouth. Secure the elastic band behind your head and breathe normally. Although the bag does not inflate, oxygen is flowing into the mask. If you are traveling with a child or someone who requires assistance, secure your mask on first.
All right, like I said, I do believe.
Keep your mask on until the crew member advises you to remove it. In the event of an emergency, please assume the bracing position. Lean forward with your hands on top of your head and your elbows against your thighs. Ensure your feet are flat on the floor.
Okay. I was trying to figure out, why am I getting a METAR for Miami?
When instructed to do so, open the plastic bag. Remove the vest, slip it over your head, pass the straps around your waist, and adjust at the
And
front.
again, for those just that tuned in at the top of the hour, we are on weather from the 25th of June because currently they say it's a little tepid hot in Europe. So the servers for the weather are having a bit of a time.
The following electronic devices: smartphones, CD players.
So if you do type exclamation METAR KMSP, yeah, the weather will look a lot different outside than what it says because we'll be 48 hours removed.
We remind you that this is a non-smoking flight. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying the smoke detectors installed in the lavatories is prohibited by law. You will find this and all the other safety information in the card located in the seat pocket in front of you. We strongly suggest you read it before takeoff. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask one of our crew members. We wish you all an enjoyable flight. Thank you.
All right. Fuel on. Okay, that is the only I have found with Flight Factor's PA thing you have to do. It starts getting really mad with you dinging away big time when you forget he doesn't get his air time.
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake.
All right, parking brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
And we'll be ready to go here momentarily. All right, that's done. After start, parking brake, we'll just wait on them packs. We can turn those back on now. Wait a minute, there's that. Let's go up here. Engine bleeds are on. Packs coming back on. The APU bleed can be shut off, as can the isolation valve. Now, with the 750 or 67, you all may remember a guarded
bypass
switch.
bin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time, and have fun up there.
All right, let's try the yaw dampers. And we can now verify everything looks good. APU going off. We won't need the anti-ice tritch pip. We'll get here. Actually, we'll check. Flaps will go to 5. And then we'll check our flight controls. Again, if you go to status, you can just see what they're doing. Okay, and the rudder looks pretty good. Okay, and nothing in the office is holding back the stick. Trim for this flight 4.3. That looks good. Oh, you forgot to tell us something, Sergeant Yash. Okay. Okay, I think I've got everything. Flaps are at 5 right here. Auto brakes to reject. Engine starts to continues. All right, taxi, isolation switch off, recall, auto brake, flight controls, trim, ground equipment, and taxi route clear. Here we go. Oh, we need a common traffic frequency. I think I know it, but let's be careful and get the right one. I would have been wrong. See, that's sometimes why you want to make sure. 126. $126,700. Okay. Minneapolis common traffic northwest 569 taxi to runway 12 left. Very cool. Sergeant Yash says he picked up the 76 or 75. We'll get the right numbers yet. 737 from PMDG 800, which included the freighter and the BBJ. Very cool. And the iFly 737 MAX. Cool. So he'll be simming 737s for a while. I don't blame him. Enjoy the birds. Oop. Gotta go that way. Let's start our taxi. Off we go. All right, what are we gonna need to do? We'll go across and then up. Yeah, it looks kind of gloomy here today. Again, this would have been, I believe, June 25th. Well, cool. I'm glad you enjoyed. He says it's a different league as in 737, but once you learn it, becomes normal procedures. Oh, yeah. And that's, why it takes me a little bit, even once I start up a half hour early to get going. Because, the 57 has some little nuances to it. We showed one. We'll show it again in well, we'll probably show it in flight. Where that PTU switch was. And, I don't even know if the 6.7 from Flight Factor, which I have flown 6 years now, so well versed in that plane. I don't remember that. So do some ops today like last stream. Well, we are. We're just in a different version of the 757. Last week we flew the freighter. I forget which day. I think the same day we cranked up the C-32, the military version. And today we're picking up on that theme and flying the passenger version. All right, let's taxi on down. The cool thing is, from our position, it's not a long taxi. When we switch over to the other aircraft out of Denver, it'll be a little time consuming getting it going because it's been a couple months now since I've flown it. But I gave it a try last night just to power up and see if I remembered, and with the help of the checklist, oh yeah, it all started coming back. Of course, the big test is in a couple of hours when we actually fire it up to fly with real numbers and all of that. In the title on Twitch, you'll see what that flight is. Denver to Aspen in the Just Flight BAE 146. All right, we're coming to the end of the runway. So, flaps set, controls check, speed brakes are down, engine ice, isolation switch, fuel trig are all set, cabin notifications complete. We're ready to go. Minneapolis traffic, Northwest 569, heavy, departing, 12 left. All right, here we go. Now, X-Plane users, again, the weather server, according to X-Plane's official Discord channel, is offline. They believe it's just overheating because of the overheat going on in your... Oh, I did not mean to stop. Sorry, folks. So you would, if you want some kind of weather, you're going to have to go historical. Our case, 48 hours ago. Meaning you're not going to be able to say METARs or any of that on streams. You'll have to rely on the weather map for your weather. Or just have fun with tailwind takeoffs and landings. All right, y'all ready to go? There's 80 knots. 100. V1. Rotating. Positive rate, gears coming up. Turning to 100. We're going to go ahead, kick in. Oh, excuse me. These allergies here in St. Louis have just been unbelievable. Just as the weather has been. So, a lot of tornadoes in the area here. Mostly, I'll say, east of us. Maybe 40, 50 miles. But still close. We had the start of some of the bigger ones that some may have heard of, just north of us, but in the county just north of us. So the weather has just been unreal here, as for those of you in Europe. All right, guess what? We're going to go ahead, turn 180. Then we are going to get set up to intercept the 232 off Minneapolis's VOR and head to Hugar and then on down the departure. All right, I'm going to get us. All right, we are now direct Hugar, and then we'll join the departure. All right, we'll double check. Flaps are up. Let me do my after takeoff checks. Okay, gears up. Packs are on. Flaps up, gears up. To answer your question there, Sergeant Yash, I believe it's available 24/7 in the chat. However, I'm not sure if Seribot will block it. So just a word of warning, you can always try it. And Inuit is saying we got up to 37 degrees Celsius. It's in the 90s. In Northern Europe, they're in the low 40 Celsius degree range. Ouch. 100 plus degree temperatures. Oh, 105 to 110. Wow. Is that actual temperature, or is that what it felt like? Because that's what we're looking at this upcoming week here, what it feels like at that temperature. And I don't know if they do that over in Europe, the heat index. You know, it's funny, we're talking about all of this high heat on Facebook here of late. I have been getting a lot of, I don't know how many of you saw Good Morning Vietnam from Robin Williams was the main character in it. There's a little excerpt when he first goes live on the radio in Vietnam. In that little monologue, whatever you want to call it, he calls it, "It's so hot." And we're living it here, not in the Vietnam jungles. We're here. Recorded temp. Okay, recorded 100. Wow. Woo. That's just too doggone hot. And we'll switch. Yeah, it's a great segment. But yeah, it is Robin Williams, so expect it to be hilarious if you're familiar with Robin Williams. The late Robin Williams, I should say. So, great movie too, don't get me wrong. That actually, I wasn't sure what to expect when it came out. I want to say in the 80s, 1980s. But I may be off by a little bit. But anyway, what a great movie. And a shame we lost a really good actor in Robin Williams. Good Morning Vietnam. The character he played, Adrian Cronauer, was a radio DJ here in the States before he was called to Vietnam in the draft. That's the character he plays. Now, in later interviews, matter of fact, Adrian Cronauer was out of Illinois. And while not that crazy as Robin Williams played it, he did push boundaries, and it did help the troops going through pretty much a pretty rough time there. I mean, let's face it, that was not any war is never good, but that one was just not at all. And then what they would face getting home and all. But anyway, it's a great movie if you get a chance to watch it. And I'm actually going to look it up because, you know, that whole opening sequence of when he went on the radio is so funny and so true. But it was a good portrayal, and great. All the actors were great in it. So but of course his lead was just dead on. They sure did. The West learned some hard lessons on asymmetrical warfare. They sure did. Robin doing Robin things. You know, that man, and may he rest in peace, what an actor he was. The versatility in that man was unbelievable. He could make you laugh so hysterically. 1 second, one character, the next movie come out and scare the living crap out of you that someone that funny could be that scary, that psycho. We'll just say it, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Just unbelievable, the dynamics of that actor. Yeah, Mrs. Doubtfire, another phenomenal movie. His ability to just just improve the parts is unreal. He can ad-lib from what I understood, that opening sequence, yes, while scripted, he ad-libbed a lot. Mrs. Doubtfire, he added a little to it as well. So just what an actor he was. I mean, I watched him in a couple of those psycho horror kind of movies, and oh my gosh, it's like, you know, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So, but what an actor he was. I'd say comedic as well, but this guy could do it all, and that's really an amazing thing. So, but anyway, talking about the heat, that brought it back into my mind big time, what I've been seeing of late. Ugh. Yeah, it's funny. My wife's hoping to go to her sister's house to swim this afternoon. I'm not sure the weather is going to be nice to that with all the rain, but tomorrow and on into the next weekend, holy mackerel. Back on the frying pan here. Not that some places west of us have not left the frying pan. Or well east of us across the pond. All right. The only other thing about these older heavies, you still, oh, no, I thought I saw two. Sorry about that. You gotta set the altimeter still. You don't have that little push the button and we're in standard. You're looking forward to nighttime here. A chilly 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, that's our future starting tomorrow. Yep, and I don't know how long. It looks like through the weekend of the following, but yeah, you know, when the heat starts cranking up, it's hard sometimes to stop it. And I've seen where the tropics here in the area are also trying to heat up as well, so that also helps put a block on things when they start coming alive down in the Gulf or out in the Atlantic. And that used to be a warm day where Inuit lives. Oh geez, 80. Oh yeah, that would just be the perfect temperature for me in summer. But I also remember years here in St. Louis where the temperature wouldn't come out of 100 for a week. And I'm not talking what it feels like outside. I'm talking outright 100. Hey, Matt, 1997 and Hawker, welcome aboard as we head to Denver. So, yeah, it's funny how the weather folks here forget those big, long runs of 90s and 100s. The ones that really crack me up are down in Dallas, because, man, whew, that's a place that gets hot and stays hot, just like hot Atlanta. And good old Hawker out with all the emojis he can find. Oh, I did not know the other side had the 757. Because I was trying to figure out what one of the big streamers known for his 757 back in the day had. I did not know they had one. Cool. So are you buying up there, Hawker, and flying on DCS? That's awesome. So Bluebird is going to have a 757 on 2024. Good. Glad to hear it for you. Not flying. Somehow I thought you'd say that, Hawker. All right. For the newcomers that have come aboard, let's walk through some of the things I've learned about this plane that I've been asking for help. Unfortunately, I never got any. I had to actually do the homework myself. The infamous PTU switch is in a place we would never normally look. It's right there. How many of you looked there? It's been in my checklist and I've been trying to figure out why I couldn't find it. That's why. The other, and this one, it took a lot. Why are there no electronic engine controls or limiting switch that the checklist says? The Pratt & Whitney version. Now, this may be only flight factor. But the Pratt & Whitneys do not have that. The Rolls-Royce engines, which many folk are used to seeing the 757 with, they have both the limiters and the EEC switch. What the PTU does, I have not found that out yet. It took a while to find that switch, but that's my next thing to learn. If it's not guarded, what am I expected? So the other big one, oh, excuse me, and unfortunately we're already past that phase. Being able to put the flaps in, get your trim and all of that off the FMS, you have to go to, let's see if I can do it here since we're now in cruise. Let me make sure I got everything. Set up for cruise. All right, we got the weather radar turned on. Now, the one thing I have yet to figure out is the terrain radar and where it hides. I'm still working on that. I'll find it. But anyway, to get the FMCs to where you're used to putting in the flap degree, well, you'll put the flaps in, and it brings up speeds and all of that. You have to come up here. We'll use this. Options, avionics. PIP FMC. Make sure that's turned on. If it's not, you won't be able to put in flap settings and all for your takeoffs. Also, you might want to just click 0.833 kilohertz radios, so that way you do have the full spectrum of it, and then go through what you like, what you don't like through here, and then save it. But that's how I found it. Now, again, the PTU switch, I wish I could tell you what it does. I don't know. I'm just checking my checklist. And we are good for cruise. We're back on Unicom and we're good to go. So those were some things that were troubling me. I asked a lot of issues. I think, and pilots out there can let me know if I'm right, the PTO helps in with the engine starting. You'll hear it in the Airbus kind of cycling through, and if on the next aircraft you'll actually see that cycling on the gauge, but it's part of the hydraulic system. Why it's there and not up on the overhead, I don't know. Good morning, Mr. Jet Pilot Cinnamon. Welcome aboard, sir. We sure appreciate you. You know what? I was getting ready to say how far out we are, and I forgot to put that up. Let's do that. But yeah, for those wondering where the PTU is, it's behind the first officer on the side panel, one of the jump seats, or maybe the jump seat. Let's find out. Oh, there are two jump seats. Okay. So, but yeah, it's right up here. Actually, there's a lot that I did not know there. Now, we're going to have to go get the 767 fired up here in the next few days and see if it exists there, too. So there it is. The 757 from an airline that was gobbled up by Delta, Northwest. That's a shame, because I really liked this airline. This is one of those I kind of liked. Probably more for the cargo side of the house than the airline side, but both were, I mean, interesting. This is a great paint scheme, but the one they had after 2000, I forget when they started, the all gray look, that was pretty sweet too, so. The only other thing Flight Factor does that upsets me, it doesn't really upset me, it just frustrates. That. That actually was a window when I set it open. They will randomly close windows. Oh, that's frustrating. Tell that person, get out of that seat. Don't touch those. And you can't lift them. That's what's sad. Revoke their ticket, put them in the baggage hold. They'll be fine. Inusic flew some in FS 2002. Oh, okay. I flew them in FSX, I think. Trying to think what company. Anyway, if not, it would have been a Century of Flight. But yeah, I enjoy, I mean, it's just like the 767, only less fuel, less people, obviously. And, which obviously equates to not as long of a range as the 767s. But a lot of them in Europe still. A lot of them are slowly phasing out. They're becoming more and more, some call hangar queens. But Delta still flies them religiously. And like I said, I know a lot in Europe do. So. What happened when X-Plane hosted their webinar earlier this month? Yeah, the big news is, I hate to break it to you, Hawker, X-Plane 13 was not mentioned. Matter of fact, they mentioned a whole lot into the end of the year of what X-Plane 12 will have. So, hurrah, hurrah! The other, I'm kind of curious how this will take in the X-Plane community. JFK is coming as one of the airports in one of their betas. I think it's the next one, come to think. They've been doing an airport on many of when they go to their next, like 4.3. 4, next will be 5, I believe, will be JFK in it. So I'm curious how that's going to be met with the Nimbus version out there. So we shall see when that starts up. By the way, we are in X-Plane 12.4.3, the release, final release version. So whenever they put the next set of betas out, they will be 5.0, I believe. So how they've been doing it would make sense. There were some other interesting things on the scenery, and actually it was pretty interesting on the scenery and what it's going to take and all of that. So if you get a chance, it's on the Discord channel. I know you don't like looking things up, so hang on. So if you, Hawker, or anyone else out there wants to watch it while we're in flight, here's a link to it. Marnov, welcome aboard. Hola. We are flying from Minneapolis to Denver on this flight, then continuing, albeit another aircraft, to Aspen. I'm on my phone. So, and we are 48 hours back on time for the weather. The weather servers right now are, I guess they, for X-Plane, are in Europe because they've got a pretty good heat wave going on there. Ooh. Thought I'd better look down and see if we're getting weather. So, but I don't know. And from what I understand, well, what they were saying on Discord, I hope jokingly, they're overheated because the weather over there is very overheated. Inusic was telling us 110 or 105 to 110 actual temperatures. Ouch. So, yeah. Not cool. While we have tornadoes here in Illinois, they have the heat. But we get the heat this upcoming week. And hopefully by the weekend, we're back to somewhat normal. I doubt it. But, and a sinkhole that we've had in St. Louis hopefully will be repaired as well. And my life can get back to some normalcy driving around the city delivering auto parts. Oh, yeah, it's been fun with that sinkhole. Basically opened up, we have an elevated area of the interstate, opened up underneath it and exposed the supports. So they didn't want any heavy traffic over it. Hopefully we'll be back in. Although, I'm going to be honest with you, my routes that I've gone to go around it have not added but maybe a minute or two to my time. So I might still use them. Although yesterday we drove through a pretty good monsoon up in the north area of St. Louis. Ooh, that was a lot of rain coming down. We'll take every inch we can get now because eventually July, August, it's like the faucet just turns off. And we're begging not only for the wind to blow to help stir the hot air up, but for some rain. So that's why we're 48 hours back. So we're looking at June 25th's weather at this time. Kind of curious how that works with the radar system. Let's see. Don't see any weather there, but so it's kind of useless. I mean, I can turn it on charts, but since we're 2 days removed from the present, it's kind of useless to show the weather on it. And they've still got a couple of hours of daylight there before any semblance of cooling occurs out in Europe. Oh man, I thought I turned it on. Okay, why is the overlay not working? There, it needed a refresh. There it goes. All right, we're about an hour out, so enjoy, folks. We should be there around the top of the next hour and preparing to go to Aspen. Which, by the way, is not what I expect. I was thought they had a full-blown terminal in Jetways, but I don't know what airport I was thinking of. But the airline will be flying with under Piedmont Virtual. They go to a whole bunch. So, all right. So Hawker's lurking, and folks, if you do need to lurk, we sure appreciate it that you hang around. Well, like I said, give us about an hour. We should be in the Denver area. I got one quick chore to wrap up here. I just heard the dryer stop, and I will be right back. And I also need to make a stop at the Pate. Be right back. All right, we're back with you for a few moments here, folks. Welcome aboard Flying with Mike. We sure appreciate you. We appreciate you on board here, and hope you enjoy the flight. We are headed to Denver on the Flight Factor 757-200. From there, we're going to head to Aspen and do so in the BAE 146. All of this we're flying with a virtual airline called Piedmont Virtual. And if you're interested or thinking about it, I'm going to give you a couple of warnings. Just realize they're part of the Fusion airline network, so you can expect a more real look to the airline, so to speak, even though most of the airlines of Piedmont are no more. So, secondly, and more importantly, the Northwest Airlines schedule that they do have right now is going away here soon. They spun up a Delta airline as well. They're going to pull them over as a historical feature to Delta, since they were one of the airlines gobbled, much like American did with TWA. So you would have to join Delta at that point also to fly Northwest. But for now, they are in place. So hope you enjoy. We got a great day of flying. When we get to Denver, we are going to switch, like I said, to the BAE 146 from Just Flight. Aspen Air will be the airline at that point. One that's gone as well. I don't think they were gobbled. I think they just went out of business, but I didn't do a lot of research on that. So sit back, relax, enjoy. We are in the Northwest Airlines 757. And from what I understand, this airline primarily, if not every one of their 757s, were Pratt & Whitneys. Unlike TWA and many others that were strictly Rolls-Royce. So, that's just the way it was. So, I hope you enjoy. Also, if you're on Twitch and you want to make someone's day, think about maybe gift subbing so people can go ad-free while supporting the channel at the same time. There's a 35% discount if you gift sub 5 or more to the community. Like I said, the airline does benefit, and this allowed me to buy this allowed me to buy this aircraft here, the 757. Compliments of a great gift certificate Hawker gave, we were able to get the 146. So, but again, that 35% discount lasts until July 3rd at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. You wait till the 4th of July, you missed out. So, all right. I hope you enjoy the flight, and I'm here. Any questions, comments, let me know. And either in the chat, comments, and enjoy the flight. looks like we've got a great crowd on hand today. So I hope you enjoy. We're just kind of, well, you know what? I'm going to push out the range. Everyone's closed their shades on us now. Move them out of the window seats.
Dive.
Pratt PT6, I hear you with that sound alert. We'll start our dive here, in about 100 miles or so, as we head for Denver. I'll be honest, let's, you know what, let me pull that map view. We can't get it yet. That's the only drawback to the, when we have to use historical weather. You can't really get your destination that easily. If you can, I'd sure like to hear it. Because, Because, yeah, right now, I have no idea until we get within range of the airport as to what we're up against. Now, I can pull it, with our METARs and all of that, but that's today. This is 2 days ago, because the weather servers are overheated with the overheated European high temperatures. So, and I also curious how the weather radars and all work with this. So, I couldn't tell you if we got, well, in the immediate surrounding us, I can, but that's the only real drawback. Tux 07, yeah, that's why. Yeah, we're 2 days back. Like I said, the X-Plane weather servers are kapooey right now with all the heat out there in Europe. Inuasic was telling us between 110 and, 105, 110 actual temperatures. So, little on the hot side. Hey, they woke up, they closed it. You gotta love it. That's one thing I'm not a huge fan of with Flight Factor is the winch, the shades. I'm sure there's a following that loves it. I don't. And oh, it just moved. Looks like we're doing a little cloud surfing. Will say though, the clouds in X-Plane 12 are just phenomenal. Could there be more work? Heck yeah. Could there be more work in other simulators on their clouds? Heck yeah. But boy, they have really come along, and they really, really are looking good. So fluffy. Yeah, they are. They've really cranked it up on the sky, and I like what they've done. You know, there are times I look at the clouds and go, that's not how they look. I did this, what, 2 years ago we went to Mesa. Coming out of Mesa, sure enough, they look just like that. So, so yeah, they really do look good. All right, let's get back in, see how much further we have to go to top of descent. Just shy of 100, okay. Let's start into that descent checklist. All right, landing altitude is set, but let's double check. 5430, let me double check that I got it right. 5434, that's as close as we're gonna get. Okay. Denver, the Mile High City. ECAS, I didn't see any, but we'll double check. Everything looks good there. Fuel looking good. Arrival put in. I really wish when we use historical, you know, I may put that out there as a question. You know what? I am going to, hang on a second, I'm going to ask Explain about that. I can find what I'm looking for. That's sometimes... All right, I put the question out there. We'll see if anyone come on. Actually, Pratt PT6, no, that was actually not Star Wars type music. I mean, it's like it, but not from Star Wars. It's some copywritten music that just happens to have that same feel of Star Wars. I know the two you're talking about, and there's a couple of others I've included in my short playlist from other songs that I like that are similar, that are copywritten, but these are not. All right, I'm looking at the current ATIS out of Denver. That's departure. It's pretty windy right now there, I'll be honest with you. Currently, the winds are 200 at 26, gusting to 34. Welcome to the Front Range of the Rocky Mountains. And they are landing. Why is my runway not called up? Just the 1.6 and 2.6 are for some reason being used. That's weird. Huh. Yeah, that's what I kind of like. Why are we off the 1.7s? Did they have an incident? That doesn't matter. It's 2 days ago here, so. All right, we're within 50 miles, so let's finish this up. VREF, let's go ahead, put that up and see what we're dealing with. Looks like 130, flaps 30. Auto brake will run at 2. Approach briefing complete, and we're ready to bring it in. For all I know, it's out of the north at the same. And we got a tailwind then. Oh well, let's just see what's on the map. Oh, Sydney. That's why I'm kind of curious how we're supposed to find flight weather. I doubt anyone's gonna respond that quickly over there. All right, I'll just keep it here to see if anyone responds. Oh, who put that cloud in front of us historically? Oh, we got weather showing up. Look at that. Right off the chart there. That's cool. We are in the soup. I think for your territory there, it's what is that? Clam soup? No, what's it called? Doggone it. Clam chowder. All right, let's go ahead, plug in our first out. Well, actually, let's see. The Alley 4 arrival. Let's see. Where's Yeast? Okay, so we need to be setting up for 14,000. We'll see how that works. Okay, now unlike the 767, the older brother, the bigger of the two aircraft, we are not able to do where we can push the altitude or the speed change. However, we can go to descent and click descend now, and that will put the descent bar here letting us know our deviation, and we are starting down. The other was to just wait. As long as you've got it programmed into the altitude, VNav will start at that point. But you know, those guys that work those radars like to sometimes bring us down early. And we pilots sometimes don't want to do the published speeds on the charts. Especially out in the New York area, Lindy. One of those confusing approaches that I used to fly on the sim that make a little bit more sense now, but still very confusing. 19,000 feet, like 25 miles away. Whew. But when you see now the transitions that are used into the arrivals, it starts to make some sense. But it sure does make for some fun YouTube audio listening. Whew, to those, some of the pilots flying it in the real world. All right, Denver. Can't get you the weather because I don't think they've responded yet. Where is Discord? Nope. Be right back. All right, folks, sorry about that. The CEO just got home and just checking in, seeing if everything's okay. And of course it is. This is one thing that irritates me of Flight's radar, or a Flight Factor's radar system. Oh. No, it's not a wall of thunderstorms we're hitting. It's a wall of I don't know what. I had to think. What am I thinking here? All right, let's see. Nope, we don't have anybody on. So let's .ctafkden 24,300. Hey, we actually are getting out of the cloud for the moment. All right, we are at about 26,000. And that quickly back into them. Chewie, take us out of hyperspace. Big scary clouds. Yeah, I do too. I don't know what it will take. I'll be honest, I don't know what causes it. Because I know Flight Sim FSX, it looked the same way. Every flight sim I've been in, it seems to look like that. Scotty, take us out of warp speed. All right, with 14,000, do I need to be slow and making sure we're slowed up? It looks like we are. Wait a minute here. The heck is Kipper? Ah, there it is. Okay, so yeah, we'll be slowing up here soon. All right, let's keep an eye on that. Let's see. 280 should be slowing to 250 here soon to cross head. HE-triple-D. Well, let's see if we can get any kind of weather out of Denver. Okay. Not as bad as we thought, but it is broken down to 2023, 3008. Okay, so kind of what we thought. 3008. All right, we are descending. Actually gonna go ahead lower that down one more. All right, we're continuing now to 14,000, then 12,000. And we join the ILS. ILS frequency today is 1085. Heading 173. All right, let's hit the checklist again. All right, according to this, auto brakes are medium. No smoking, seatbelt lights are lit. Let's get the wing lights and all on. Altimeter set, approach and arrival set. Engines left and right still continuous. Approach checklist. And all right. Decision altitude 200 confirmed. 200 in the box. All right, we are coming in. We are on historical weather for those curious. And still no reply. I don't normally get any from X-Plane. So, simple question. Unfortunately, no one wants to let us in. All right, folks, we are within 10 minutes of landing. If you want, put your prediction in. It's an exclamation mark, the word predict, space, and a negative number as we approach. Okay, we're gonna need some speed brakes. Okay, we're gonna drop down to 10,000. All right. How far out are we at Hit? Oops. Okay, we have joined a localizer. Okay, we got flaps 5 set. All right, let's see here. We're about to level off at 10,000. Got Denver common traffic, Northwest 569, just past Hope, about 17 miles on the ILS for 17 right. One thing to keep in mind when you're coming into these higher altitude airports like this one, Mile High, 5,400 feet, realize things you're used to doing at 10,000, now you're only, we'll call it 5,000 feet above the ground, 4,500. So you're going to be doing things much higher. in the process. I'm going to go ahead and throw the gear out. We don't need it. Let's go next notch on flaps as well. Spoilers arm, brakes set, 3 green on the landing gear. And we're back in the soup. We're back in the soup again. Clam chowder. Okay, we're calling VREF chicken noodle. Oh, chicken noodle. Okay. We'll slow up to 150. Let's make it 145. Let's go to flaps 20. Are we starting to try to bust out? Okay, we're 2300. Starting to get some ground here. Still got a big scary cloud ahead of us. Let's go flaps full. Just about 8 miles out. And Denver area traffic, Northwest 569 heavy, about 8 mile final for 17 right, fully established.
Good morning, Denver traffic. United 2419 will be taxiing to 17 right, Denver.
Can't win with the radar, can we? So we'll do the next best thing. Runway environment. And Denver traffic, Northwest 569, 3 mile final, 17 right.
Minimums. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
And Denver area traffic, Northwest 569 heavy off at Whiskey to the A concourse. All right, let's see. Oh, we need the speed brake brought back in.
And Denver traffic United 2419 is boarding runway 17 right. Southbound on the Sleek 2 departure, Denver.
All right, nose wheel steering, okay. Everything is like it should be. Okay, we're looking for well, here's the little problem. They're saying I would have swore this airport opened at the turn of the century, 2000 time frame, because I swear I was still driving the truck. Northwest was still around. They're saying they didn't come over from Stapleton, which closed when this one opened. What say you? To those that were around back then. So what I'm going to do is park it in Delta, and they're saying they're in the A concourse, but I'm going to park close to where we're going to fire up our next flight. Even though I got to reset the sim. So, all right, is this AA? It is. Yeah, we'll use AA. Actually, let's use AS. Next one up, Alpha Sierra. So I hope you enjoyed the flight from Minneapolis to Denver. Next in the queue, once we get into the gate, is
Denver traffic United 2419 is 2 miles to the south. Departing on the Sleek 2. Clear of all runways. Final call, Denver. See ya.
so our next flight is Just Flight BA 146 to Aspen, Aspen Airlines. Or is it Aspen Airways? We'll find out. Okay, the parking brake is set. APU is running. And generator on. All right, we can shut down. All right, ILS parked. Okay, we're good. Stape trim, close. And we can put the chocks in now. And welcome in. All right, we are in the gate. I forgot which one, but it doesn't matter. Welcome to Denver. We're going to check in with X-Plane here in a minute, see if the real-world servers have been fixed. Otherwise, this is what we have to deal with. All right, so for our next flight. All right, so looking at this flight, we had a really good flight. They're currently unloading right now. So let's pull you know what? Let's first, let me do what I need to with the airline. Let's see. Complete 272 is what the ACARS is saying. All right, and I already know it's going to get flagged for a livery. Oh, it didn't. Wow. How about that? Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I'm shocked. Cool. All right, let's take a look. Current weather, just for those curious, 210 on the winds at 20 gusts to 28. Wow. I would not want to be a cleaner at that airport on landings. A few clouds at a 10,000, 15,000. Wow, just incredible wind. But hey, we had a beautiful flight. Kind of looking it over. Is that takeoff or is that landing? That's departure. All right, approach. We actually were right on it. Cool. Kind of squirrely on the runway, but it looks like we were 272 by the airline, 1.7 Gs. I don't know how it does that because it sure didn't sound. 1,200 feet down the runway. I don't know about that either, but we'll check it with Elevatech. All right, so that was cool. Hang on, I'm going to go ahead, push for my next flight. While I'm here, get that thing set up. Aspen, dispatch, and let's go here. 462. Oh, let's see, it's 1020 out there. Hang on, I'm just real quick getting our airframe selected and time. All right, we'll have to do something with that in a minute. All right, so we're here. Hey, welcome in. We got our next flight lined out, ready to go. Okay, that sounds like we may have some fun into Aspen. All right. Wow, it looks dark here at 10:20 in the morning. Wow. Okay, let's bring Elevatech in. Wrap this one up here. Elevatech. Where are you? There you are. Okay, Minneapolis. There was our little flight. Pretty straight, cut forward, cut dry. Pretty nice and easy to take. 720 miles, I believe, is what we traveled. Well, let's find out. We flight time 1 hour, call it 40 minutes, arrived 2 minutes early, and let's zoom in. Looks good, the approach. Touchdown about 15, just shy of 2,000, let's call it 1,900 feet down the runway. Not bad. Rolled out to Whiskey, like I said. And, or is that, yeah, Whiskey, is that Mike 5 or Whiskey 5? Anyway, and then taxied back to our parking here at A44. All right, and according to them, 279. Who got the accolade? Let's find out. Jet Pilot Cinnamon. Way, look at you. Off by 60 feet per minute. Awesome, you're the winner. We touched down at 279 feet a minute, 146 knots. And the winds were 086 at 9. Welcome to the X-Plane historical weather. Oh, but anyway, hey, that was a fun flight. I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you did, I'd love for you to click follow if you love the content here. We just had a flat out ball with this flight. Hang on, I'm just resetting for the next one. Oh, not that way. There we go. If you liked what you see, you like the content, hey, we'd love for you to follow us here on Twitch. Click that follow button. It's free. All you have, it'll just give you an email if you have notifications on. For those on YouTube, if you like the content of this, hit that thumbs up and subscribe button. Also free, and with the notifications, it'll let you know when the video is uplifted. All right, we thank you all so much. Twitch, request you hang in there. We're going to be switching gears here to fly out on Aspen Air. BAE 146, so stand by. We're going to keep the stream going. YouTube, I hope you all had a great time watching. Enjoy. Any comments, any questions, hey, use that comment section. I really do try to answer them all, and I'm not one of those that say it and don't. It may take a little bit, but I do. It takes a while for it sometimes to get to me, to let me know, or for me to be checking and go, why didn't I know there was a comment here? So please let me know what you think, and we'll catch you on YouTube on the next videos. Twitch, stand by. We're just going to sign off real quick, but we are not leaving the stream. We're going to leave the stream run, and we're going to switch into the other aircraft. So stand by.